So I have to share with you guys what happened today in the second free roll I did on um, ScamOnline. I mean Betonline. So coming to the tournament, um, as I usually do, I start off by stating this site is one of the biggest scams, and two people agree with me. One says most definitely, the other one says I agree. So we get to chatting a little bit until the very first hand I play. Now, I raised big. I have pocket queens. I raised big. Donkey still call. Everybody calls. So there's this one particular player that I played with earlier in another tournament. I don't have much experience except for that other tournament, those few hands, and I noticed that this person plays light, and they'll call anything if there's enough people on a pot. So I felt that they didn't have a great hand in the first place. So like I said, I raised big. I think I had 6 or 7 times my raise. So on the flop, the person to the right of me goes ahead and jams, but the board comes out. I believe it comes out King Ace, and I think King Ace Jack of Spades. I have the heart. I have the Queen of Spades. So the person jams on me. Of course, I call because number one, I have flush. I have black backdoor flush. I have straight draws. So they jam. I call. The turn comes a queen. So I hit a set. They still only have King Nine offsuit. They have King Nine offsuit with a Nine of Spades. So the river, I forgot what it was. So I win a nice sized pot hand. So one of the players that I was playing with gets mad, and they're like, "Oh, now I guess the statement they made was them trying to call me a bot or something like that." And I was like, "Oh, bro, you really mad that you just lost in a hand you shouldn't even been in probably?" And so whatever, he's talking junk. I was like, it was all cool until I beat you. So so every time I played it wrong because the person jammed on me and I called their jam. But I had so many outs. I had way too many outs to even fold. Plus I had a history with that player. But dunks, they like to think they're some type of pro, and they know it all. So whatever. So it's back and forth. Hands goes on. Um, Again, just notice that there's just a sorry bunch of people that I'm playing with. So I build my stack up to like 23,000. I lose a lot of chips in one big hand to like 8,000, and again just build right back up. So two of the players, one of the players that was talking junk and another player that was talking junk, I busted both of those. So I was happy. I busted both of those. So then they moved me to another table. So on this table, starts off slow. Starts off slow. Um, then I pick up, a nice size hand. So I go from about 20,000 chips to like 41,000 chips, and then from 41,000 chips to 93,000 chips. So I'm playing smart, playing the way that I usually play, and it comes this next big hand. I had pocket kings. Um, Person to the left of me had pocket queens. There was a small stack. They had like 4,000. So I jam, or not jam. I raise big, um, enough to put them all in. So I think I raised like 5,000, 6,000 chips. So they call, or they jam all in for a little for less. Everybody else, a few other people call on a flop. Um, it's a very tricky board. So what I do, I just went ahead and bet out. I 3x my bet. So it was like 16,000, 16, 17,000 chips. So everybody else fold. So cards turn. They say I have kings, and it comes runner, queen on the river. So they hit a set. I'm like, what the hell is this? Are you serious? So I knew what was the deal. I knew what they were gonna do. If it became the time of me not being able to win, And it's not like we know it's poker. We know you can't win them all. But you can, for some reason online, especially online, you can certainly lose them all. Um, but we know how the game goes. It's like a little switch they hit, where they allow you to actually play. Win, you lose some, but whatever. But then it comes a time where they hit this switch and you just can't win. They don't want you to win. They're saying no, you cannot no longer win anymore. So that's what it was going on. They hit that switch. So I started folding everything. I'm folding ace king. I'm folding 10 queen. And guess what? Most of the time I'm not hitting anything. So all of a sudden, these three particular hands come up. I have king deuce, but I still fold, whatever. The on the flop it comes deuce deuce six. So I'm like, okay, all right, maybe I could possibly win again. So a few more hands. I still just on precaution. I fold a few other good hands. So then I get another hand. I have king seven. Guess what the board comes? The board comes 7-7-3. But I folded it so pre-flop. So I was like, okay, so maybe the next hand I'll play. But I wind up not playing it, and I'm glad I didn't because I would have lost on the river. So I let a few more hands go by, a few more orbits. So I'm in a small blind, so I get the small blind special. And I'm like, is this a setup? So I have 4-8. It's not. I mean, it's not a good hand. It's not a great hand, but I'm the big blind. I'm already in. We got 25,000 chips. So everybody calls, and I have how's it go? So I'm the big blind. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Someone raises, but it's a small raise. So I call the person under the gun. They call, and the board comes 4-8 king. So I get two pair. The board is rainbow, and it looks pretty good. So the so they lead out. The other person calls. I raise. The other person re-raises me. I re-raise them back. So at this point, I re-raise them back like 50 something thousand. So they jam on me. They jam. The other person calls, and I call. The person has ace king. The other person has pocket eights. But remember what the board is. The board is 4-8 king. And I just knew, like, it was just a setup. It was a complete setup. A complete setup. Because I was avoiding everything they were every little scam they were trying to hit me with, I was avoiding. And they finally got me, and that's how they got me. So the whole point of me telling you this is when you find a strategy, change up that strategy. This is my first time back in like a month and a half. So I sort of lost sight of what I should have done. Which for the most part, I've been doing okay. I've cashed a few of these free rolls and stuff like that. So I've been doing okay. But just don't get too comfortable as I did, because they will find any and every way to fuck you. And if that person, and matter of fact, the person that wind up winning that had the pocket ace just sitting there calling, just chilling, yes, you know what I'm going to say, a marked player. Not suspicious as in I think they're a bot, but a marked player as in I think they're possibly have something they shouldn't have or know something they shouldn't know. So that's one key sign that I just should have thought about. Like, man, I should have just probably folded, because I don't know. If it was America's Card Room, I would have definitely folded, because I knew I would have known what they would have had a higher set. This is Betonline, so they do play scammy, but it's different. Usually with Betonline or ScamOnline, as I call it, a lot of times the second best hand wins, and a lot of times you don't have the second best, you have the best, and someone comes in and wins. My particular case, I just got screwed. So the moral of the story again: don't get too comfortable. You know, switch it up a little, just a little bit. Don't let them find your rhythm, because once they find your rhythm, it's like their system learns how you play, and then it adapts to how they're gonna fuck you or screw you over. So I definitely just want to share that last hand. But yeah, it bust me out of the tournament. I cash, and you know this person wound up shooting way up to like first place. They had a commanding lead of over 200, almost 300,000, and so they took my 90,000. They took the other person's 100,000, and so it's crazy. It is crazy. Um, So yeah, you know, just be play cautious when they flip that switch. Even though I know I waited a few more hands to actually start getting in there, and I know this last one I finally actually didn't get in there. Um, I just so happened to be the big blind and wake up with a you know two pair. Um, you know they wind up getting me, but I'll take my little winnings and hop into a small tournament. But I definitely just want to share that.